Okay, so I've put this off for a couple of days, but I think it's time to react to Strange New Worlds, Episode 7, Those Old Scientists. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is the Lower Decks crossover episode, and I am excited. But before I get into it, if you like my content, please hit the thumbs up, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. And I will see if I get back to you on anything you like. So let's get straight into this. Strange New Worlds. Well, there's something you wouldn't expect on a Strange New Worlds episode, to go to the animated universe. But it's outstanding that we're getting to see this, and yeah, let's carry on, because we've got a Boimler log, I suppose. Yeah, we've got a Boimler log, which is always good to hear. Yay! Live action Boimler! That's going to be great to watch this episode. This is going to be really, really good. Really good. I've already seen, heard that people have said that this is a really good episode, so I have been really looking forward to it. I have to be honest though, I was surprised it was released a couple of days after. But yeah, let's carry on, because live action Mariner's got to come through shortly. I have to say this because since I've been doing videos reviewing and reacting to Strange New Worlds Season 2, Amazon has had this thing where for some reason they haven't had the skip intro available, but for this episode it seems to be back. I'm hoping that's an issue that's been fixed, because it's really annoying having to watch it. I mean, it's great to watch, but just once you've seen the first from the first episode, you kind of want to skip it, don't you? In a way, even though it looks outstanding. But I'm glad that that's been fixed. I'm not watching. I don't subscribe to Paramount Plus directly. I subscribe to them through Amazon, because it's a lot easier, I guess. But yeah, let's carry on, because I'm excited. I like the way they were talking about a communicator and saying it's not just a delta, it's a communicator as well. And Pike says, well, but flipping it open is the best part. It's like, yeah, it would be the best part. It's like the old flip phones when they first came out. You flip them open. You could pretend that you were like opening up the communicator in Star Trek. Unfortunately, I never really had one. Well, I did have one, but it was just a cheap one, sort of between smartphones, because I needed. I had an iPhone. I could never get on with it, and I dropped it by accident, not on purpose. But I dropped it, and it basically just smashed to pieces. So I couldn't get it repaired, and I ended up getting myself a cheap flip phone until I could get a replacement. Then that's when I got my first Samsung. And I've stuck with Samsung ever since. I love the way Boimler wakes up and he's like, Captain Christopher Pike, and then computer and program, and then pokes him. It's funny. I like that. You got that Lower Decks humour in the very serious, well, semi-serious Strange New Worlds. It's interesting. I'm hoping that they do a crossover into the animation, so Christopher Pike ends up in the future on the Cerritos, because that would be actually outstanding. And I think they did hint that was going to happen at some point. So maybe the next season of Lower Decks will have an animated Pike. We'll see, shall we? So when Una was introduced to Boimler, he jumps up and ends up very quiet. Especially considering that at the beginning he was actually talking about her as if he was a fan, essentially. But the interesting thing is that Una is now thinking that he knows something about what happens to her in the future. Well, of course he would. You know, it would be Starfleet history, wouldn't it? It would be Federation history. This is the Enterprise, so this is the pre-TOS Enterprise, and yeah, he would know. I'm pretty sure that he would have been the type of person that would memorize everything about the famous missions and ships and crew. So, yeah. Now Boimler first coming to the bridge is, you can imagine the excitement and the fact that he's on the bridge of one of the most famous ships in history, even though it doesn't actually look TOS. But I mean, I can argue, you can argue. I always say it's not TOS, it's pre-TOS, even though it should look the same. But an Orion ship. Now that would be Tindy's great grandmother, I believe. She said at the beginning. So I'm excited. So difficult for me to remember things that happened. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch this at some point. Probably tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, got a bit of a chill, so I had to put my jump on. So Boimler's rewired one of the consoles and to help them find the Orion ship that had stolen the portal. Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm loving this episode so far. It's absolutely outstanding. There's no way he's going back already because Mariner's got to come back, surely. So, uh, interesting. Well, it's a bit of a debacle getting the portal back from the Orions. Here's an interesting thought I just had because this would make sense. Right? So Boimler's for like 1.5 to 200 years in the future, right? So if he's from the future, would that mean that he was or would be the smartest person that was on the Enterprise whilst he was there? Because I mean, the curriculum of the Star Academy would have improved, so you would have to, so generations would become smarter as a result, wouldn't they? So I'm guessing that he would actually have been the smartest person on board the Enterprise at that moment that he was there. So, okay. And also, just as experienced as well, because we know he's been through quite a bit in Lower Decks. So, but this is Strangely Worlds. So let's see what they're going to do next. So, is Mariner going to come through whilst he's standing there, or let's see. Yeah, there we go. So just as Boimler's about to step through, Mariner comes through and depletes it. So there's not going to be enough for them to get back. They're going to have to find a way to refuel it or an alternate way to send them back to the future. That doesn't involve a DeLorean going 88 miles an hour, which, as far as I'm aware, it couldn't do in the first place. I do have to agree, Spock smiling is scary. Very scary. Especially the way he's doing it. It's like he's being humorous at the same time, but it is scary to see Spock so smiley. I'm actually loving the live action uniform from Lower Decks. I think it looks outstanding. I know there are some channels that I've been watching, and when the trailer came out, they were criticising it, but they were saying that like the black part and the stripe were too far down on Boimler. But I mean, they definitely look tailored. They look like they're meant to fit specific body types. So yeah, I'm loving the appearance of the uniform. It's really, really nice, very crisp, and yeah, that's the only issue I'm having is that it might just be the angle because of the chest on Mariner, but the Delta, the badge, looks smaller. But that might just be because of the chest. So I'm really loving it, and the fact that she still has her sleeves rolled up. Um, so yeah, it's really really good. I hope we see more of it. I want to see Tindy and maybe even Rutherford in live action. But if I remember correctly, there was a point when they actually teased that there's no reason they wouldn't be able to do a Lower Decks live action show. So maybe not Lower Decks itself, but I reckon if they wanted to, they could do a live action version of Lower Decks on a different ship even. That would be actually pretty good, and maybe keep some of the humour, because that'd be good. But this is very this is what I would love Strangely Worlds to be all the time. A little bit of humour, then a lot, a fair bit of seriousness. But yeah, I am absolutely loving this episode. I really am loving it, and I'm probably going to watch this once, maybe two, three more times after this. So yeah, every time. This is by far the best episode so far, and it's not even finished. So they've mentioned the NX-01 before, and they've mentioned it now, and Boehm has just realised that that the NX-01 has the material that they need. So does that mean we're going to actually see a refitted NX-01? Because I would love to see it if it is going to happen. I wish it does. Be nice to see an NX-01 refit with a secondary hull, or the engineering hull as it's commonly referred to. That would be outstanding. Oh man, talk about a letdown. Oh, I was really hoping that we were going to see a live action NX-01. That would have been outstanding. A new one, with the refit. But it turns out that they're going by the fact that Enterprise would have been built with a piece of the last ship to bear the name. So that is a tradition that used to happen. But I was really hoping that we would get to see the Enterprise NX-01 refit. I really was hoping to. So I guess this is the animated Strange New Worlds part. Okay, but it's right at the end. Is something else going to happen? Probably not. But it's going to be interesting to see the crew, if we do, as animated. There they are, all animated, but it's not where I was expecting it. I wasn't expecting them to do it in the same episode. I was hoping it would be an actual Lower Decks episode. That would be another crossover for Strange New Worlds, but who knows? Maybe maybe they've got that planned. We won't know until next season or the season after that of Lower Decks. But not too long now, a few months, I believe, for Lower Decks. So it's going to be. I love this episode. It's been an outstanding episode. It really has. That was outstanding. I absolutely loved that. I'm going to watch that multiple times, I think. But at the same time, this is what I want Stranger Worlds to become. I don't want it to be its normal self. I want it to be Star Trek, but I want it to be more like Lower Decks in this way, because it is the best episode of Strange New Worlds so far, by far. I don't know if they're going to actually be able to do better or improve on it. It was such a good episode that I can't say much about it. This is a 100% reaction. It's the first time I watched it. I know people have watched it multiple times already, but I've put it off. So it's going to be crazy. It really is. But I mean, if you've liked this video, guys, hit that thumbs up, give us that like, hit the subscribe button, and if you like my content and want to see more, then please hit that bell icon, select all, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm also on Discord, Patreon, and Rumble. So yeah, hopefully see you guys again, and until then, live long and prosper. Take care.